Hi everyone, and welcome to the EcoInvestment update for Sunday, December 20th, our Christmas edition. Woohoo! We have the Christmas lights up overhead. You really can't see them here, but it's also nice to be able to spend a cold, rainy day inside the shop doing things that I love doing, working on electronic and repair projects. A lot of people have written me and asked me, please do a weekly instead of a bi-weekly eco-investment update. Things are moving so fast. There's so much stuff going on. It's almost, it's too much time between every 2 weeks for updates. Well, it had always been in my nature to never do things very quickly, but to have time to think about things. But, we'll try the format of a weekly update here, because yes, there is a lot going on. For the first time in over 9 years, the United States Federal Reserve raised interest rates 1/4%. And although the market met that with an initial jubilation of 220 points to the upside by the end of the day, cheering the Fed, by the end of the week, the day after the Fed move on Wednesday, Thursday, the market proceeded to drop 270 points. And then Friday proceeded to drop another 370 points, and making the lowest level in a few months here for the stock market, and causing people to scratch their head and wonder, are we really recovering? Why did the market tumble when it's just 1/4% rise? And it's not really the 1/4% rise. It's the fact that the Federal Reserve could be totally out of touch with the underlying economic conditions. Now, I want to get to a bigger philosophical point here, because I've told people before which way I think the market will break. We had this big run up to 2000, to 18,400 on the Dow. And then we had a drop down to the 1500s, and then a big rally back to about 17,800 and change. And then we've come off rapidly 700 points again. Well, I told you, stick around long enough and the weather changes by the day around here, so does the market. But my guess is that we've double topped here in the market. We've gone as high as we're going to go. And now the news cycle will start to turn negative. Negative about more negative news in China. Negative feedback about Christmas time. Negative attention on funds, mutual funds starting to run into problems. Negative attention in the oil patch where we're below $35 a barrel. And there's some speculation we could be going to $20 a barrel. Why? Because when you attempt to collude or work together to keep a market artificially high, the longer you do that and the higher prices are, the more you're going to have hell to pay when the whole situation comes unraveled and you lose your hammerlock on your cartel, which has happened to OPEC. Keep the price at $100, $120 a barrel. Suddenly everybody's an exploration genius. They're digging for oil where they never even dreamed to dig before, and they're finding it. And we have so much oil in the world, and we have so much solar power, and we have so much alternative energy coming online that we've really almost put a virtual halt to growth in demand for oil. So as a result, oil coming out of the ground is not gaining markets, it's not losing them, but the problem is you have a lot of production coming online that wasn't there 5 years ago. It's only there because of that high price, like the beauty of a capitalist system. It acts as a beacon to attract people. Those high rates of return bring people running just as surely as a gold rush to exploit the opportunity they perceive. Well, enough people do it, and pretty soon we have the case like today. We're swimming in oil with no place to put it, and we're still not shutting down the upstream exploration and production side. Kind of weird. But The end result is we have a terrifically depressing situation here on the economy. Energy is such a big part of the world. Yes, there's positives to it too, but we got terrorism to offset demand for travel and things like that. But I wanted to take a philosophical bend today, and I wanted to talk about why governments can't create prosperity. Now, I've touched on this a few times, and I have more time to think about it. How to better explain this? The problem is when you think that interest rates are the sole controller of wealth and prosperity, then situations like occurred in and is still occurring in Japan give a lie to that. Meaning that in December of 1999, the Japanese stock market peaked at about 40,000. And right now we're barely holding below 50% of that level. And Japan has been mired in a virtual recession for over 25 years. And you know what? Interest rates are virtually zero in Japan. Why isn't that bringing on an economic boom? And the thing that many people fail to reserve and to understand, and especially those that sit on the Federal Reserve Board and a lot of economic think tanks around the country, is simply this. Just because you make money cheap does not make attractive investments pop out of thin air. Now let me rephrase that. Let me restate that again. Just because money has zero cost to it doesn't mean people are going to rush to borrow it if they don't see a place to put it. And therein lies the folly of low interest rates trying to create a prosperous or a recovering economy. You can keep rates as low as you want. You can have government spending to keep people afloat with 100-week unemployment. Support with food stamps and with this, that, and the other, but at the end of the day, you're not creating, the investment opportunities aren't there. Where's the new industry? Where's the next big thing on the horizon, like the internet, the automobile, the radio, the television, the computer? Where's the next big thing? This is the problem we have in the world today, where periodically in human development we reach these points where we've outstripped our ability to find new, whatever the next big new thing is. So realists understand, and those that understand economics realize that even if I make money cheap, I don't got anything to put it in. The computing world's margins are lousy and getting lousier. The social networking is saturated now. It's just computing, all kinds of things. The margin has just been squeezed out of that stuff. We've squeezed out the whole wholesaling and jobber layer in the economy with direct buying from, say, Amazon and people like that. It just destroying the retailing base. There's just a million negative things happening out there, and in the face of that, we're supposed to be led to believe that low interest rates are the panacea, the cure-all for everything. They're not. The only thing they do is allow people to get more liquid. Meantime, other fires are breaking out in the economy, the oil patch, debt going bad there. There's a whole raft of stuff. Retailing, a lot of things are going to be going belly up after the holidays. Just watch. A lot of massive layoffs and things. The thing is, low interest rates in and of themselves are not an inducement to prosperity, okay? Let Japan serve as the model, the icon for that thought. Until such time as we see what's coming along. You may, well, what happened in the we had World War II come along and all that. We may be, let's not really, I hate to think about that. But there's a lot of friction in the world today that we're a long way off from a point where major nations may be picking up arms and spoiling for a fight. Remember, what gave rise to Adolf Hitler was the economic turmoil of the 1920s and the post-World War II unjust peace that was foisted on Germany, the economic collapse that happened, the hyperinflation, and the total chaos of Germany. Finally, the people said, here's a strong person that seems to be able to lead us. The confidence was instilled, and they were on their way. Remember, in the early years, Hitler was loved. He was a national icon. And it was only later this stuff got, bad aims, bad goals, bad morality. The whole shooting match came back to end that. Anyway, some interesting philosophical thoughts today. I hope a lot of you have pulled money out of the market and at least pulled back a little bit. It's never too late to diversify and make sure you never have all of your eggs in one basket. Merry Christmas, and see you in a couple weeks. I think it'll be in the new year. Thanks, everyone.